Hey guys, it's Jessie and I was up all night last night because my dog had diarrhea. Is that TMI? Sorry, just keeping it real here. That's my life. So today, as you can tell from the title, I'm gonna be doing the mix all my foundations together video. I'm definitely a little late to the party. Everyone was doing this a few months ago, but better late than never. So we're gonna do this today. Don't judge me with how many foundations I have. When I pull them all out and look at them in one place, it's definitely obscene. I will say though that first of all, a lot of my foundations are drugstore and affordable brands. And second of all, a lot of them I own in multiple colors. So if you were gonna just narrow it down to one of each, it wouldn't be that many, right? That's how I'm gonna justify it to myself. It's okay. So I pulled out all my foundations here in front of me on my table. My kitchen is still under construction, so I am using a plastic solo cup that I cut down to mix all my foundations in today because this is what I got. The only thing I've excluded from here is my stick foundations. I don't even have that many. I have the Makeup Forever one and I have an Anastasia one, but I don't want to like start cutting that up. So it's all my liquid foundations here. So any foundation that I have multiple shades in, I am gonna put all the shades in just so I can say that this is all my foundations. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna start with my Dermacol Film Studio Makeup Cover. This is a very high coverage foundation. I haven't used this in a while. I actually really like this foundation, but I'm just gonna put blue. I have a little spatula, so if anything wants to cling on like that. This foundation is so full coverage, just that little amount I know could cover my entire face, so whatevs. Next, I'm gonna use the Elsie Micro Silk Foundation. This was a favorite a while ago. I really loved this foundation when it first came out, but I think it was a little dark for my skin, and when I went really pale, I don't think I could wear it anymore. I think that was part of my issue. Next, I have the Bourjois Healthy Mix Serum Foundation. I actually hate this foundation. I really don't like it. I should have thrown it away a long time ago. I'll throw it away after this. I just do not like that foundation. I tried it several times trying to get it to work and it did not work on me. Next, I have the EX1 Invisiwear foundation. This is another foundation that I actually really love. I used it for quite a while and I really should start using it again. I just stopped because there were so many other foundations that came out. And that's the case with a lot of these. I used it for a while, I loved it, and then something new came out, something new and shiny came out, and I just kind of forgot about the old thing. It happens. Next, I have the L'Oreal Infallible Total Cover Foundation. I went through a phase where I was obsessed with all the L'Oreal Infallible foundations, as you will see in a second. I'm actually still obsessed with a lot of these, I just don't end up using them very often. But this one, actually, I think I did like this one. I think I've used this one. This was a very full coverage foundation. So I'll put a little of that in there. Hello, shake off. Okay, I'll keep going in the L'Oreal Infallible family. Next, I have the Pro Matte Foundation. Then I have two shades of the Pro Glow. I love this foundation. This is one of my all-time favorite foundations. I actually think this is almost a brand new tube. I really should use that. Next, I have the CoverGirl Vitalist Healthy Elixir Foundation. If you've been watching my videos lately, I've really enjoyed this foundation. I've been using it a lot. I think I will probably at some point pick up one shade lighter. This is just a hair dark on me, but I do love the way that foundation looks on my skin. Next, I have the Becca Aqualuminous Foundation. My mom had bought this and gave it to me because she didn't like it. It is definitely more of a bronzy foundation, and I wear this when I am very tan because my mom has darker skin than me. Since this is such a luminous foundation, I actually like to combine it with a more matte foundation because I feel like it gives kind of a very natural finish. Next, I have my Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Foundation. This is another one I need to get in one shade lighter. It's so close, but not quite there. Okay, these I've been using constantly. This is the Maybelline Color Stay Foundation. I have these in two different shades. This has been my go-to foundation lately. It's so easy to put on, it always looks good. Next, I have my Urban Decay All Nighter foundation. This is actually my lightest foundation that I own. I wear it when I have absolutely no color in my skin. Next, my Makeup Forever Ultra HD foundation. I love this. This is like one of my first like absolutely love foundations, and it's just a solid go-to, great foundation. Next, I have my Dior Forever Skin foundation. This is definitely a splurge foundation, but I had heard so many people online talking about it that I decided to try it out, and I do really love it. Next, I have the very controversial Tarte Shape Tape foundation. I actually really love this foundation. I really don't care what anyone says. I think it's really great. Next, I have the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless foundation. I have this in 3 different shades. I love this foundation. Oh, it's so nice. I was really into this last year. Put a lot in. This shade Sun Beige when I am tan is so perfect on me. I think I'll probably go back to using this summer. Next, we have like my absolute favorite foundation right now. This is the Milani Conceal and Perfect, and I have this in 3 shades as well. When it comes to these drugstore foundations, I find the first shade that I pick up is always like a hair too dark, so I end up getting a lighter shade, and then I end up getting a shade for when I'm tan, which is like 2 shades darker than my normal, like 2 or 3 shades darker. So that's how I always end up having like 3 of these foundations. Next, I have another splurge foundation. This is the Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. I have this in 2 different shades. This was another one of the like first like splurge foundations that I got because of course everybody and their mother raves about it, and so I wanted to try it out too. I feel like a couple of years ago, like this was the top foundation, like nothing was better than this. But I think in the last like couple of years, I feel like so many more foundations have come out. There have been so many different formulas, and drugstores stepped up their game, so the higher end brands have stepped up their game. And it's just like not my go-to foundation anymore. It's still great, but it's not like the first foundation that I reach for, if that makes any sense. Okay, next I have my Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation. Another very dependable foundation. You know it's always gonna look good. Just wish it had a stinking pump. And finally, oh my God, there's a lot of foundation on this table. Finally, I have the Wet n Wild Photo Focus foundation. I also have this in 2 shades. This is a really great foundation, but it also has the worst smell. I hate the smell of this foundation, but it does look really good on. I was really into this, I think last summer as well. Okay, and here is my lovely concoction. I'm going to take my little spatula and mix this up. This is crazy, because I mean, I just have all different kinds of foundations here. I mean, I do tend to buy a lot of the same kind of tone of foundations. So, I mean, I feel like it does make sense that the color, at least color-wise, this will probably work. But we've got matte, we've got dewy, we've got luminous, like we have across the spectrum, like every different kind of foundation here. So I have no idea what's gonna happen next. Okay, to prime my face, I'm gonna use the Touch in Sol No Poreblem Primer. This was recommended to me by my friend Ashley. We were in Sephora yesterday and I picked this up. I've been looking for a cheaper alternative to like the Smashbox primer, which I do love, it's just so expensive. And this one I think was $18. I know it's under $20. And Ashley swears by it, so we're gonna try it out. Okay, I'm gonna use my Morphe M439. I think with that Dermacol foundation in there, it'll probably make it so I don't have to use more than like 1 little dab to cover my entire face. Because that's what I did, and this is covering my whole face. So I went ahead and did my brows, eyes, and lips, but I didn't set my face or put any concealer or anything else. This is just the foundation. So I have to say, first of all, as expected, this is very full coverage. And second of all, also as expected, It is a hair dark on me. Most of my foundations are a little bit on the darker side, so I was kind of expecting that this would end up being a little darker, and it is. But one thing that actually is a little bit surprising is how lightweight this feels on my skin. I stopped filming and just wore this for about an hour, and it feels very lightweight. I keep forgetting that I actually have foundation on. Like, it doesn't feel like I have anything on, which to me is surprising since all of these foundations have such different formulas. Like, I thought it would feel cakey and weird on my skin, but it actually doesn't. It feels very natural. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish my face. First, I'm gonna bronze with my Benefit Hoola bronzer. I'm not gonna use concealer or set with powder because I want it to stay pretty luminous. I want you to still be able to see what the foundation looks like. But I am gonna bronze a little bit. I also noticed that all these together on my face, it has kind of a yellow undertone. It makes me look a little bit yellowy. And once again, I think that's because I have just a whole variety of foundations. This is so many foundations that have all kind of different undertones that I think it just kind of melded into kind of yellowy. But it's still not horrible. It's still better than I thought it was going to be. I'm gonna highlight with my Milani Sun Glow. I've been using this Morphe R36 brush for highlighter for the past like week or so, and I have to say I've really been loving it. I can't remember, it may have been Manny that talked about this, and I've been trying to find like my holy grail highlighter brush for quite a while, and I've tried so many different ones, but this one I have to say like puts on product evenly. It doesn't like look streaky, which is usually my problem. Like, I feel like this blends out highlighter and still looks like very natural. This is also a really like nice natural highlighter just in general, but I'm liking the way that brush is working. And then I'm gonna go in with a little bit of MAC Peaches. This poor compact looks like it's been through a war. At one point, I tried to get this out of the compact to put into a Z palette, but it did not work. I just chipped out a huge chunk of it. And as I use it, it's like created this, it like kind of looks like the Grand Canyon. I love this blush. One of my favorites. Lately, I've been putting highlighter on first and then going in with blush, and I really like the way that looks on me personally because I feel like it blends out the highlighter just a little bit more and kind of just blends it with the blush into your cheekbones or into my cheekbones. Okay, so here's the finished result of mixing all my foundations together. Honestly, it looks a lot better than I thought it would. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to subscribe to my channel. You can also check out my last video. Let me know what you thought about this in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.